Gamescom. We're actually at Barton Farm, and here we have the Hulk. So this is the Hulk from Age of Ultron.
Look at him, he's so cute.
So what we want to do is kind of show some of the new things he can do. So as you're kind of exploring the farm, he has the ability to kind of leap through the air.
Wow.
So what we can do is we can explore this area. And this is one of the free roaming sections that we have within the game. We have some other ones as well. We're going to go to New York City. We're kind of really want to have these areas where you're going to explore. There's races, there's kind of adventure. You'll encounter characters, all these kind of cool features. So when you come here in story, you get to come back in free play and kind of really explore this kind of much wider universe. And that's where we get to bring the comic book characters in as well and kind of really bring this workplace to life.
Yeah, how true is this going to be to either the comics or the movie? You know, what are we going to see that's familiar and what are we going to see that's different?
So we're definitely going to be looking at the movie story. We want to hit all the kind of key points from the Avengers, from Age of Ultron. And then with the comic book, we're not kind of set within one comic book arc. We're not one telling of it. We get to mix and match, which means that we've actually got some cool characters that we get to reveal that kind of show that and show the fact that we're jumping around to different areas. Some of the cool things as well is what we get to do with the characters. This is brand new for this title. Here we've got Iron Man, and kind of Iron Man has his suits. What we can do is you can actually go into Tony Stark's HUD, and then you actually have the ability to change suits on the fly. So what we'll do is we're going to select the Mark 1 armor, and in comes Stanley. So Stan's helping us suit up.
And the little chicken too.
Yeah, so that chicken actually kind of harassing Hulk a little. It's keeping him hangry. So that gives us the Mark 1 suit, and then we actually have more suits than what we're showing here in the game, but we want to kind of give a bit of a flavour of what the team have been working on. Do you know the Mark 5 suit at all, the suitcase armour?
Not too well, can you show me?
Yeah. So here we go, we've got the suitcase armour from, you can kind of see in the theatrical world.
Yes. Cool.
And so as you unlock these suits, they give you new abilities, new kind of mechanics, and that was really important that we had this within the world, because this is something that's very familiar. This is kind of like a really iconic shot from the films, and we wanted to recreate it in Lego. We've got a whole host of armour. This one's actually one of my favourites. So this is the Silver Centurion on the Mark 33.
Gotcha.
What's great about this is...
facial expressions are so great.
So Lego's actually creating this as a minifigure. So there'll be a kind of a pre-order exclusive at certain retailers, and I want this character on my desk.
Yeah.
I just think the armor looks absolutely amazing.
It does. It looks great as a Lego character. And is this specific to Iron Man that he has the changeable suits, or are there going to be other changeable things for other characters too?
So this is kind of very specific for Iron Man. We kind of can jump into some other characters. We saw Stan Lee earlier. We actually have Stan Lee playable in the game as Iron Stan. So we have Stan Lee in his own Iron Man armor. So we want to kind of have a lot of fun with the character. You know the Hulkbuster from Age of Ultron? Stan kind of has his own ability. He gets to call in the Stan Buster.
Oh wow!
So we have the Hulkbuster in the game, but we now also have a Stan Lee themed Hulkbuster.
Oh my gosh! Look at his face.
So he's got a pencil there. There's a desk lamp. There's a coffee cup. And the team spend a huge amount of time kind of bringing these characters to life. It's got one of my favourite animations at the moment, where Stan kind of pops out and he starts working away on this typewriter. So they do an incredible job of really bringing these characters to life.
And the Buster's changing the typewriter for him. So that's that humor that I love so much about this game, that it's not necessarily jokes, but just it's delight kind of brought to life. And as somebody who works on this game, how do you go about creating those delightful situations? Is it just, you ask yourself what you would like to see?
Well, yeah, very much so. The team do a kind of brilliant job of saying, okay, what would we find funny? And we have massive Marvel fans in the office. So they're looking at it and going and say, well, okay, what would we find funny from an animation perspective? What would we find funny from lines of dialogue? What would we find funny from gameplay? And they just do an incredible job of kind of wrapping this kind of really believable Marvel universe, but done with Lego humour. So they're the characters you know and love, but in an environment that's different from the normal.
Right. Who are we looking at right now?
So this is Speed. So he's one of the comic book characters we mentioned. He's a brand new kind of reveal for Gamescom. And this is kind of one of the comic book, I love his kind of animations that he has.
I know, it's just so great.
We have some other characters as well. We have the unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Oh, wow.
So another reveal here for Gamescom. So Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. We know there's some massive fans in the office who in particular wanted to get Squirrel Girl back into the game. Are you up to date on your Thor? So we have actually Thor, but it's Jane Foster.
Oh wow,
so
that's exciting.
This is what I was meaning about the kind of the ability to mix and match both new and old content. So stuff that's brand new, kind of with kind of current Marvel themes, as well as classic characters in there. We've got other characters as well. So we've got Kamala Khan. So Miss Marvel, so she's going to be in the
Wow.
game. And it's kind of really exciting that we kind of mix and match all of these people in this universe and kind of have a lot of fun with the characters.
And so as I'm playing through the game, I can switch between any of these characters as long as I've unlocked them?
Yeah, so very much so. That's what kind of free play is about. So when you're in story mode, we kind of set the real characters in the kind of real locations.
Gotcha.
But then when you come back in free play, we want you to be able to toggle, you want to switch, you want to be able to try these characters out, see what new moves, see what abilities they have.
And sometimes, are there going to be objectives that I can only get as I go back in free play mode and use different characters and their abilities?
Oh yeah, very much so. So characters will have unique abilities, and as you're exploring the world, you'll see things where you'll go, you know what, I need a certain character, I need a certain ability. So when you do unlock that character, you'll come back and go, oh excellent, we can now use this ability and use this character to progress and see more and unlock more content.
Awesome. Well, what are some of the unique abilities that you think are the coolest?
So one of the great things, we've actually got this ability to team up characters together and do special moves. So as you're fighting, you can build up a charge meter, and then what you can do is you can actually trigger these special moves. So here we have Black Widow and Iron Man kind of doing a special, or basically like a smart bomb attack. And that means that we get to use these moves to kind of take down multiple enemies. It's really revamping the combat system. We know that people would love to build the kind of LEGO games, but they wanted more from what you could do with combat. So we've added these new abilities, we've added these new mechanics, and you can kind of decide when you want to trigger these moves. One of my favourite characters is actually Quicksilver. So for very kind of prominent in Age of Ultron, he has an ability to target multiple enemies. The world slows down, he'll run down, take them all out, and then can carry on.
That's
so if
so
you're doing
satisfying.
very much so. And of course he has special takedowns as well, so he can juggle enemies, and he can pick people up and spin them around in circles. So makes them really dizzy, they then fall over to defeat them in a single punch. So we want to kind of have a lot of fun with these characters, but like we say, we're revamping the mechanics, making sure there's loads of kind of new cool features. And it's just such a huge game. The team are kind of still putting in content. What's great is we're kind of announcing the release date for this title now. It's going to be available in Europe from January 29th.
Okay.
And it's going to be January 26th for America. And that's just basically because we really want to fill this game with so much content.